agree, they probably should be, given the championship level that we expect of this team, but we've not really seen at this event, Harry. Sure, the challenger stage was great. They ran through 3-0, they looked flawless, they looked incredible. They even took down Spirit, which in overtime, which didn't look like much of the time, but now we know just how much that game means, given how Spirit have gone through to championship 3-0 themselves here in this stage. But for G2, you know, they may be favored in those odds, Harry, but Outsiders are certainly going to give them a run for their money.
Let's get into this one then. It's Inferno to open up. G2 taking on Outsiders, elimination on the line. And we're going to start this off on Inferno. Outsiders map pick. They've got this T-side opener. A lot of utility. That should leap out at you right away. Right, only 2 sets of armor. Everyone else donning util. On the other side of things, yes, kind of similar story, right? A nice bit of stopping power for G2 with these smokes and flashes. Hunter up close in the apartments.
Yeah.
His dual Berettas managed 3 kills so quickly. And even though Buster's retrieved them, even though now he's got 2 guns, and so in theory that's better than 1, he's still going to be hard pressed to find a way back into this.
2 guns but 4 opponents, Harry. Oh no, the model gives it away and he can't hit those back shots. Jack from the back hits a headshot and Kicker is trapped in a 1v4. They're going to face him together. Nice peeks for G2 and the flash was even inbound to give them the round 1-0. And that is a slaughter. What a pacey round for Outsiders. Very rarely do you see a pistol, especially on a map like Inferno, where you want to get that info, you want to figure out where the CTs are leaning. Is there a gap? Can we XXB? That was a very decisive, sped fast pistol through apartments, and they get mauled by dual Berettas. G2 starting things off on the right foot.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what kind of form we get out of G2 here, right? I can assume that the fire's probably lit beneath them, right? What with the situation, but on top of that, you know, we had the whole heroic smack talk versus Nico. I want to see if that fires him up, you know, and if Outsiders kind of become the martyr for this G2 squad to go up against, right, and take out all that pent-up rage on.
Yeah, and you imagine there is a lot of pent-up rage. We saw it, you know, in that Imperial game. Like, Nico was getting stressed. It felt like he couldn't do enough to win the rounds. He was getting so many multi-kills, and G2 was still dropping the ball, and that game went 16-10. But even in those 2 Ls to Heroic and Na'Vi, very long games, very difficult ones for G2 to close in overtime, both falling 19-17. So I think G2 have gotten fairly unlucky with their matchups, but that's unfortunately no excuse at this stage. You still have to perform. You still have to go through to those playoffs. Na'Vi have already made it. But now these plucky CIS players of Outsiders, couldn't think of the right adjective there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, with how you're running with it, I thought you were going to say underdogs. I was like, man, I don't know if that's fair or...
I mean, odds-wise, yeah, sure, but they're still... I can never count out Outsiders.
No, I mean, dude, it's exactly like what we said coming into this. Like, these guys are both... Sorry, these teams are both playoff teams. Like, they're both teams that make deep runs. It's kind of astonishing we're even in this position where at the end of this series, we're saying goodbye to one of them. Alexi with this double opener. It's a last, like, 10-second push. They do have to die. That part is important. And luckily enough, Nico and Alexi will oblige them in that quest.
Yeah.
G2, 2-0, they get the conversion. But this is what Outsiders were waiting for. Money now locked and loaded. This investment ready to come in. And they're going to have an all right, you know, little bonus round to go up against. Still with SMGs in play, Famous for Jax. This is where Outsiders are hoping to put their first on the board.
Yeah, these rounds can also be very impressive. Like, G2 have great util on CT side, but you know they made up that deeper mid smoke, but also just popping players into top mid fights, or in this round, I guess down Banana. 4 players on B. It's Nico lining up a flashbang at Coffins, but 3 guys setting up Car. Jax, if he dies mid, this round is wide open for Outsiders, and they really want to go through this smoke. Yakinda finds the gap. Jax looks away, but he does recover well, getting that kill and getting out alive. Hunter's already here on rotation. There's 3 players now in position for G2. The gap is gone for Outsiders. They've got to make one of their own.
Oh, Buster, clean opener. You know, does get tagged down to 10, but you'll still take that, goes untraded. And so he's at least put this back in a 4-on-4. G2 now, still with a lot of their resources, you know, lent towards this A bomb site. A deep banana smoke from Alexi. Gonna slow down any attempt to take this banana control back. He's making a bit of a gamble here. Alexi's leaving B open, and that's interesting, man. Outsiders, we know this about them. They love working within the extremities of this timer, right? They really do leave it down to the wire. And they're not above taking these kind of late round explorations. G2 are going to start to go for mid control. They've kind of misread the situation here. All that space that they spot in mid led them to believe this was destined to be a B play. Outsiders now, 20 seconds left. It has to go towards A. The bomb's here. Oh, it is going back down banana. Going to try and be a last-second switch up into the B play, but it does hinge on Kicker winning this fight. And with him not winning that, James 1v3 needs the plant. So little time left. He's
lost.
He's just faking it out, trying to stay alive.
Dear.
Run down. That is very ugly. Out of Outsiders.
I mean, it was a nice check for Kicker, right? He cleared Alexi, but not a very confident peek there. Maybe he was expecting him a lot deeper off that rotate, but yeah, that's a bit of an awkward one. I guess Outsiders hoped that G2 would panic rotate B after Nico walked down middle, kind of playing into exactly Outsiders want to do. They make you feel so comfortable in these mid rounds to get aggressive. Oh, look, I found a massive gap, but no, there were still 3 players in ult and apps. It's a bit awkward for James. He wasn't convinced on the stick. To be honest, if he sticks there, he probably still dies. It looks just as silly, but if you want to win the round, sometimes that's what you got to do. James, he's not a guy who always plays for the round. We saw him even the other day save in a 3-on-1 with an empty bomb site, but he could have planted. Nice kill for Nico. He's removed the rifle from play. There's still armor on Kicker, brought up just to find this weapon. But those nades went in after the fact, and he suddenly can't find the gun. Oh, Kicker. Inquisitive. But he can't see a thing. Where the hell is it gone? Good luck. J-Raz is flying around the map in panic right now. It's got to be somewhere.
Where is it?
Those nades were excellent for G2. That's what I can tell you. They have completely blown any chance of winning this round out of the window.
Dude, that's brutal. Oh, they found it. They found Aga. There we go. Buster seems very aware. Oh, that's a clean deagle. Up on the boost, Nico waiting for them to move in. Hunter's drawing the attention away, and now Nico pounces as well. It's good util right to really just grind this one to a halt for the Outsiders. James is waiting for Flit to join him. With just these Tech 9s going into this Hunter-Nico hold, you don't favor their chances here. Nico tries his hand at the tap. Hunter's going to show him how to spray, and they light up Outsiders there.
Yeah. So I guess what happened is Nico blew the gun up top B, swapped it for the A4 or A1S, got there in the end, and just threw his A1S somewhere, and they found that instead. So at least they got a gun, but it mattered not. G2. Well, Nico's going for taps already. He's feeling fresh. We saw him on Twitter. He's got, he was aimbotsing earlier. I think he got 10k bot kills while he was waiting for that big game to end. So certainly feeling good. And that much is translating at 4-0. Outsiders with a 4-buy though. AWP on James. m0NESY going to meet him. Starting 4B, G2 keep doing this, really trying to establish banana control. It's often Kicker who's on these solo lurks, taking logs, somewhere that G2 can keep in mind and double nade later in those rounds. Right now, Outsiders wanted more than one man to be, but look at this cycle of utility, just when you think you can get comfortable. Oh, through the smoke, Nico trades Alexi, so keeps things alive, but Buster still wants to fight, and he's beating that next smoke.
Yeah, he's up ahead of it, Nico. Holding, just waiting patiently. They're locked in this fight of tiny, pixels making the difference. The flash won't blind Nico, but Buster will still deliver the opener. That's the B site now vulnerable. And Outsiders this time, they don't wait around. They're quick to recognize the opportunity they've been given here, and they're going to move into an empty B site.
Yeah, great call for James. They slowed down there for a second, scared that maybe there were more players just due to how much utility had come down already. But James must have just made the call, yo, Buster, go. We've got it. And when Jay makes that call, we've already talked about the Outsider system and how they have to believe in Jay in just the crazy way that this team plays. Buster does. He knifes out up B into that site. The read is right, and Outsiders are on the board. Hunter, he can live here from the bomb if he doesn't take more than 30 damage. But He needs to be getting kills on the way out. That's why he's here. Does make that drop. They shouldn't have heard it. So Hunter with that CT smoke is given away out. We got a game on our hands.
Yeah, dude, it's a little bit weird right now, right? All this kind of opening firepower is coming from Buster. He's very much been responsible for all of these kind of space-creating kills. You know, that's not like super odd in and of itself, but it's the quiet performance paired up with that from your Kindar and Flit, guys who you often associate with being those guys who can create space. So
on this map, you see it a lot less with Yakinda. Those T sites, he does have a lot of trouble. He's never really entering B. Sometimes he's that guy running through the smoke, but more often than not, it is Buster and Kicker taking Banana instead, and Yakinda on slow A defaults. We've not really seen G2, other than that one round from Nico walking down mid, challenging this position. This is the difference, though. Double that setup, and no better time for it.
Yeah, this is going to be hard for Flit, right? 2 here, they've seen the barrel, but he does win the spam.
Okay.
Hunter now dead, and Jax is going to fall on out of there. Doesn't want to be another casualty of this apartments play. Early man advantage. Flit up on the board now as well. Nico's going to try and re-aggress with Alexi in towards Banana. The nade, good damage from it.
Nice.
Softens them up for Nico. Still, Buster will trade that one out, right? This little duo of Buster and Kicker that you talk about. Able to keep this looking pretty for Outsiders as they now sit 4 on 3 up, rather.
Oh, Alexi, I thought it was a gamble. He's going back to grab nades. That HE could kill Buster if it's well placed, and that's a top B smoke as well coming in. But Outsiders are running their execute. It looks like the commit as well. This nade could still do good damage to Yakinda. As he comes in, he gets bullied by it. Still yet to frag, and the spam might not help either. Buster terrified to cross as the smoke is now faded and there's no replacement, but that bomb needs to go.
Oh, wow. He had to win that, man. 10 points of health. And killing Alexi on the cross has given a route to this plant. They're still paranoid that there could be more bodies here, but eventually they've got to commit to this stick. Outsiders in with a second. G2. Yeah, that's a real shame. Like, there was a huge chance in that round. It's not every day that you kind of have these 3-on-4s, especially when you're pushing into a solo B hold that you're feeling too comfortable in. But there was a huge chance there with that CT smoke having faded, with the nades doing great damage. You know, the bomb having a cross in the final 20 seconds. The pieces were all teed up for Alexi to try and get something phenomenal done. And that's where, you know, 10 HP Buster just kind of completely domes him out in a must-win fight on the cross.
Yeah, well, they're sending Buster in because he's low. Flit has the bomb behind him. If Buster goes in and dies, which is part of the plan, Flit should be trading that. For Alexi, like, a good scenario would be killing Buster and getting out and then 3v3ing the retake, but his team was so far away. And you already mentioned Buster's entry work this game. Well, he does it again. That was a sick kill to just guarantee the round for Outsiders. Looking like their game plans towards B. Really just fighting for Banana every single round, but G2 have been keen to start 4B. This one, not going to be the case. G2 definitely familiar with how Outsiders have been, you know, mixing up the pace more recently, going for faster T rounds just to catch you off guard, because look at G2, they have all their utility still. They know these are late round plays. What a gap. Hunter is all the way down middle. This A1S silencer can often give you away on the bench angle. It's not too great, to be honest, but it requires m0NESY to hit the shot, and that's what he's good for. He's trying to bait a peek. Buster with nades out. There's a kill. Hunter looks for 2, but James swivels in the air. Yakinda's trying to help as well. They saw him get lower.
Oh, it's only a tag out of James Orp. Hunter doing a lot from this mid-take. Good for the double. He's set G2 up nicely. Outsiders, they've now got to play catch-up in this round. Tag from m0NESY's Orp. Going to force a bit of respect out of Yakinda. Smoke down over towards long A. Going to give Flit a bit more room to work this short side control. But it doesn't feel like Outsiders want to use that right now. Looking like they're going to try and, I was going to say maybe flash Kicker in, but they've decided against it.
Yeah, Yeah, and because of Alexi's position, there's such a nice stack on this A side right now. Nico is reaggressed in middle. Kinder's having to AWP. He's so low. Flit's going to come up boiler. If he just contacts that, he could have killed Nico, but smoke on long, and as said, Nico's ahead of it. He's got a nice bit of vision here in mid. He's going to catch him with nades out. They're just running it dry. They think he respect the long smoke, but he was there way ahead. 2v2 at the bomb site. G2 are good.
Yeah, m0NESY and Jax have got this crossfire set up, and with so little time left, that's Flit dead. Yakindar was caught running back, looking to save that AWP. G2 just kind of manhandling them in that top mid play. I do love that from Nico, right? Long was conceded earlier on. If you remember, Flit got all the way out and up short, kind of like near the hay bale, and then went back to regroup for that hit in middle. And it gave them a real false sense of security as to the real estate that G2 would have in top mid.
Yeah, we're seeing a really good look out of G2 to start this game. That's a tag as well, honestly. Doesn't look like he's hitting these, but he certainly is, putting on damage early. And Yakinda's only going to be slowed down further as a result. I've seen games where Yakinda's gone completely silent T-side Inferno and still rushed down Banana with MP9s and popped off in the second half. So it would be nice to see him start a bit stronger, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Boost up. Not connect this time, and Buster gets that opener. Again, good for these 5-on-4s, 4 outsiders.
G2 are still looking to fight for this top banana area, though they don't want to concede this. They don't want to give this space up to the outsiders, throwing in that smoke. Just going to slow it all down. But outsiders are more than content with this. You know, it's a very weird spot. You try to hold on to all this util, right? And it's nice that Jax and Hunter still have their utility over here towards the A lane. Nico's even retrieved another smoke that was dropped over here on the B side of the map. And him having that smoke is massive, man. Outsiders right now are poised for this B hit. And with the smoke going in, if they wait for that one to fade, they are playing it in like the final, 10 seconds of the round. They might have no choice but to go through. Nico can't afford to go down to spam here. They're trying their best. They're flashing in now, but he will just hold the line. It's only one out of Nico. The nade from Alexi's nice. With the bomb now cut loose, 10 seconds. It's crossing in. Lots of damage to Jame, but not the kill. And so a 3v3 on the retake. G2 having to wait for Jax to make his way over. But as he gets here, it should look to begin now. You've got a flash on Alexi to try and set this up.
Oh, Jame just grabs him out of the air. Flash does nothing. Hunter's left side. Jame doesn't know he's double scoped. He could just die here if Hunter goes for the peak. But nades out. Jame goes wide. Clears the angle. Jax no time for this one. 1v3 and he's trapped in ruins. They want to make sure this gun goes with him. But it might cost their lives as well. Jame has to evacuate as that bomb's going off. And his team still hanging around. Buster's going for it. Last second fight, and that's perfect. It's so Outsiders-esque. He dies, but it's worth it, really. Outsiders are trying to slowly but surely break this money down of G2 to pull back the half, and that is one round to do it. Seemed like things went well enough there for G2, right? Nico held 1 for 1 plus some damage. The nade from Alexi this time actually got the kill on the cross, and he put Jame low. All the makings to a round, but not able to do it on the retake. It's Jame who comes alive with the AWP, and this guy in a post plant is a different beast entirely. Clay pigeon shooting for Jame. m0NESY again attempting a mid pick, finally won't get a tag. Jame holding that jump cross. Really not a lot to play with here for G2. Smoke's traded, and Nico has one more at this B site. Allowing a 4-man A stack with the AWP included here.
Whoa, tiny angle, man.
Is that what you call him, m0NESY?
Yeah, that's his
tiny
nickname.
angle man.
Tiny angle man. Not quite as good as the Flash, but I kind of like it. Got a bit of a ring to it. Yeah. Let's see. Right, he's got the big green here. They put a lot of faith in him in this 4-spy. Slow take of top middle out of the outsiders. Yakindar looking towards long, and he's got Buster with him. Hunter, will he get checked? Yeah, Yakindar invested in that angle.
Nice try.
And with the long smoke already down for the outsiders, m0NESY was locked out of helping his teammate over at long there. The AWP now needs to hold the line. There's that first. m0NESY's AWP hits the ground running. Gonna need even more mileage out of it. Outsiders, they don't really, well, I was gonna say, they don't really have the time to go back, but they always seem to defy the logic there. They're gonna try and return to this B play. Nico here alone with the Deagle. Back of the B side, outsiders moving in, but it's very slow, it's very measured. And as they go in, one kill in the right place is going to do it. There's Nico sending them packing. The last second rotate does betray the outsiders. They don't have the time to fully clear B. And so Nico just wins it to the clock, really. Plays within, you know, the confines of the final 5-6 seconds as James crossing with the bomb. And the round was theirs all day long on the back of it.
Okay, that's twice outsiders have done that, and now I really hope to not see that mistake again, right? G2 know what this team likes to do, and they just don't leave a bomb site open. They don't leave it empty. They always have an anchor remaining, and that's twice now that outsiders have crept into B with 5 seconds left and tried to stick a plant. 3 if you count the one with James. But yeah, the other one was Alexi and Spawn, and Buster's trying to clear him, or kick it rather, trying to clear him at tree with 10 seconds. Like, these are silly mistakes. Just expecting a little more respect out of G2, but they had not done enough to pull rotations. And that's, I mean, Nico hits perfect shots. He doesn't rush that kill onto kicker. He just takes the planter instead, knowing that is the route to the round. Both kills, AK upgrade. The AWP kept on, and James left on a Deagle. Rarely do you see this guy getting the worst end of the stick. The shorter straw. James coming up from air from under. And G2 finally own Banana.
No way, they're full sending it. Nico flashed in and out of there after one, living to tell the tale. That is beautiful for Nico. Flashed in by Alexi to make it all happen. Outsiders are trying to reclaim this kill, trying to bring us back into a 4-on-4. But G2 are still fighting on the Banana side. They still want these engagements. James over on the ramp side, bomb on his back, can't afford to go down crossing, and it will just tumble away. The bomb now loose in mid. Even though they're going to claim that kill over on the short side, they've got to go back and get the bomb. With only 10 seconds left, this is a save out of Yakindar, and Flit just going to hold on to these AKs, run them again in the next round. Beautiful bit of Banana work there for Nico.
So if you want to play as well as Nico, all you've got to do is 10,000 bot kills before each map you play. So keep that in mind. It's a little secret trick that you can try at home. Anyone can do it. Those are sick, though. G2, I mean, Nico got punished earlier by just pushing down mid-drive, but a little more supported this time for the utility. And also outsiders just not expecting disrespect out of G2 because it's been punished before. But what a nice way of not only going and getting that bottom ramp kill, but then he just sits back on the half wall as well. That's a position you can't really flash. None of the default Banana flashes for Car are going to do anything about it because of the balcony over your head. But also it's just such a weird off angle. You're so committed. But when you've got aim like Nico, you can be committed and still get away with the kills. 7-3 and more broken buys for outsiders.
What do you make of this? Flit's throwing the AK to kicker.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's getting something in return for it.
Trying to wake him back up.
Yes, they're trying to bring Kicker back into the game because he's had a bit of a rough go at it so far.
But also you need Banana, right? And that's the high point of contention that we've had this game. G2 are going to fight for it again with 3 players.
He's got the spawn as well, so he's just running in. Yeah, this was spawn-based, right? Trying to take this control early, trying to get ahead of the G2 utility, and it has forced a bit of respect out of them. Conceding the Banana side. They might go back for one of these late takes, right? They haven't minded doing that. That's what Nico's setting up for now. But as he hears the footsteps running over the car, will that make him reconsider? That smoke goes in and outsiders just fall away from it. And I like that, right? You know when all that util's coming over, you're anticipating that flashes are going to go with it. G2 are going to try and fight you over at the car. They've got their full util set in to make that happen.
They will.
Right now, it really is like this kind of battle for Banana. And it feels a lot like a chess game, you know? It's like One team does something, then there's the reaction. I don't really know how chess works. Now's a good time to admit that.
Trading pawns for space. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
exactly, yeah.
Like a pawn for a knight, that's a good trade.
Oh, well, it depends if you're the one giving up the pawn, yeah. Go with checkers, Harry. It's way easier. It's more down your avenue. That you just jump over the pieces.
That's the one that's like backgammon with more steps.
Yeah, exactly. Extra steps.
Alexi,
right, here we go.
Playing around the top banana smoke. They are going to come through this, right? Once again, just leaving it down to the wire for the outsiders. They've got no flash to actually send them in with this. So it's going to be like a dry smoke walk in the final few seconds. That util's coming over. And, well, Nico only going 1 for 1 is certainly a starting point here. Alexi's bested. Hunter through the smoke is also dealt with. Yakinda, his head on a swivel. 3 kills to his name. And one of these 2 hero guns finding a boatload of impact has put outsiders in a doable spot. Yakinda's holding for Jax's rotation and is now on for the ace. 4 out of 5 kills in the round and just m0NESY left to beat.
Time is not good, but he's got the kit, he's got the smoke, flash in and over. m0NESY trying to fight Yakinda first. No, can't find that second player though. Yakinda swings out and m0NESY can't hit it. It's the ace for Yakinda in the B-bomb site. 1 of 2 weapons and he does everything with it. Beautiful shooting from the young Latvian, and that is one way to get around on the board.
It's wild as well, because it's like he was getting faced from all different positions, right? It starts with the boost, then the mana pillar, then the smoke run. You know, he's having to adjust so much in that site take as the one guy who can really like dish out some firepower. And he makes it work, makes it look a little too easy. If anything, outsiders onto a 4th.
We were waiting for Yakinda, right? He had a bit of a cold start to this game alongside Kicker, who's yet to really recover, but is at least playing his role towards Banana. But that is one way to wake up and come in big. Not only that, Harry, but it's broken the money, finally, of G2 after this half was getting pretty out of hand, pretty one-sided. Outsiders, they sneak one past the keeper, and now they can start to close the gap. Just a few rounds between these 2 teams. And nothing in this one for G2. Couple of upgraded pistols and a smoke.
I feel like we've seen m0NESY look very, very measured with the AWP early on. And that's kind of the Jame effect for you, right? Like, normally you'd expect your CT AWP here on Inferno to be trying to get very involved in the early round, you know, trying to get stuck in.
Okay.
But we haven't really seen that yet from m0NESY. It's been super measured, oftentimes like leaning very passive back into the A site, you know, trying to make contact as they're launching these executes in. That's kind of the James / outsiders effect for you. It forces a lot of respect out of AWPers who are normally very flashy, very aggressive and in your face. This round started well for them. They're looking to do good on the promise of a little freebie round up against the pistols. Util cuts out Alexi.
I hope they get the practice in this round and, you know, clear back of the site, clear all the angles. The mollies are landing, yeah, pretty well. This should be fine. I mean, there's no one in there, but outsiders has let them down before. Re-aggro needs to be punished here by Flit as they walk into B. Alexi comes through, goes 1 for 1, but Flit, it will begin to farm as he sows 2 heads into the ground. Bomb has been planted. Just m0NESY now trying to wrap him back, but Flit should have the drop. Let's see again, back in apartments, there's nowhere to go as outsiders put on 5. In the anti-eco, as clean as it should have been. And now we have another rifle, one where Nico immediately drops out AWP over to m0NESY. He's seen this guy save games for G2 before. Even that Imperial matchup, which was so head-to-head, so neck and neck rather, so back and forth, and then m0NESY came in with that big 1v3 at 10-10 that completely shut down the game, and G2 won every round after the fact. So yeah, like you said, m0NESY, he's been pretty tapered so far, but we know he's got it in him. Taking a B peak perhaps, but James already here.
This might send him back real passive. Oh. There we go, right? Like, Hugo, you built that up perfectly, did he? He finally has his first go at getting stuck in early. What happens? Well, James already on the angle. He's the guy just locking it down. and you get removed. So I think for Monacy, you know, that's probably where G2 say to him, like, okay, yeah, no, don't try that again. We'll go back to respecting this early. Going to try flash Nico in, but there are a lot of bodies here.
Wow.
Jame on the angle delivers another. The dink might have landed, but nothing else comes through for G2. And so this is Outsiders onto a 6. There really isn't anything that Hunter could be expected to do here to make a difference.
Just spamming smoke. Meanwhile, they've still got 2 lurkers just to kill this late player. Not rushing the bomb plant. They don't really need to. Yakinda's going to find this kill, and Jax is caught jumping up Hunter. They know he was spamming CT earlier, and so they just want to try and finish the job. Yakinda does it clean as can be, and ever since that ace, he's looked like a completely different player. Outsiders are trying to win the half right now. They are in for a very good chance to do so. G2 are playing for round 15 right now. It's about to be leveled out unless we have some phenomenal dig work. And I say dig work, it's not even really the money for it if you're G2.
And I mean, this round better than most so far. It highlights just why Jame is like this kind of debuff AWPer. Like he just ruins your options to get aggressive a lot of the time. You know, and that's how we say, like, it's funny how oppressive he still feels. You know, so often the reaction, if you go a man down, you try to claim some space, you try to make it worthwhile. You know, you try to make it worth your time and money, that you're just throwing someone to the wall. Worse.
He's so hard to read, man. I'm going to go back to, I've said this before, but when we had Slacks from Sprout on, our cast for Pro League, he was saying how, of all the AWPers he'd played at that tournament, all the tier 1, all the incredible AWPers in the group, the one that ruined his team the most was Jame. And it's not like Jame even went crazy in that game individually, but he is just in your head the whole time. You think you got a read on him, and then he throws something completely different in. Just, yeah, you'll never see a player quite like this guy ever again, I don't think, in Counter-Strike Go. But, regardless, it's a quick A-Wrap. They're here very early. Pistols trying to tip-tap away. Re-aggression down Banana should be punished. Kicker gets spotted. They should know he's very close to the corner. Oh, they jump it. That's a good way of setting up for a trade. And one more kill comes in on the A site, but with Monacy cleared from the pit, it's going to be a bomb plant. And at this point, Nico should be looking to save. Lexi's trying to grab a gun on the way out. Buster's throwing his out the map, and this round's not over yet, buddy. Flit needs to hold on, so he shall. But almost for a second, Outsiders drop the ball. Nico will back out and play for that 15th round. This is big as well, getting this AK out. It means G2 will actually have an AWP. That wouldn't have really been a factor with armor unless Nico saves.
And like, dude, Outsiders have put so much time and effort into, kind of like breaking apart this B side of the map that the A players are a little cold to open up, right? Like they're not really having many chances. If you look at the actual like scoreboard right now for G2, it's the B players and the B rotator in Hunter who have all the kills. Like they're the only guys getting many opportunities to fight here. Over at A, you're having to be very measured. You're having to kind of play within the confines of the site. And so I think in the long run, it's kind of like creating paths for Outsiders over towards A whenever they want to lean back into it. You know you're going to have guys like Flit, Yakinda working this apartments control. G2 haven't really wanted to fight that yet. The one round they attempted it got shut out. So I wouldn't mind seeing them maybe try to put a bit of pressure on these Apps lurks, right? They're so consistent. You're going to get someone there in these rounds. It's just always a risk, you're kind of in your own head a bit taking that opening fight because you know the reality. If you lose it, you don't really get opportunities to reclaim that kill outside of the few seconds of a chance at a trade that you're going to get upon the initial contact. So, it is always tricky figuring out how to put a stop to the Outsiders. And this game is very much exemplifying all of those traits right now.
Yeah, Monacy's got the AWP now. G2 coming in with their last round of the half. Their last fall by, they've had a couple of ecos in this half. And they even called a pause prior to it, trying to etch out an idea to win this half 8-7. Monacy's on long side, fighting for it. He's going to get flashed. Fire the shot, and that's big info for Outsiders, just knowing this AWP is on A. Now, again, as far as they know, it could immediately rotate to that B bomb site. There's always that gamble, but they feel assured with Monacy and Jax anchoring down A. The two quietest players, mainly because this has been a very B-centric half. G2, they feel the freedom to get aggressive. They've got enough manpower on this B site. Nico goes back to sandbags. He can even get flash further in. But I say that, there's actually no util. There's no flashes on B. They would have to swap out players if they want to do so. Nico's just playing on his off angle for a headshot. Outsiders don't want to challenge this. And he's trying to sell the position for Hunter, who's hidden in at the back of the bomb site. Outsiders, at 40 seconds now after throwing a util, are going to come back to the banana and try and take Nico down.
Oh, nades out for Kicker. They're expecting a lot more respect here. No chance of this trade yet. Util going over, but Jane will not commit to it. They're going to go back into an A play. Jax in the pit, playing this one-way smoke. Monacy's here as well. And a quiet start, and it's not set to get any better for Monacy. Oh, Jax so low. They're just going to avoid him for now, trying to get into the bomb site, but letting him stay alive, letting him still be here could cause them problems in the long run. It's a safe plot, but it doesn't go down in time. And Jame 1v4, 3 seconds. He cannot win this.
Unless you wanted the knife. Yeah, simply no time. Nice round out of G2. Jax has been dropping that one way all half, but Outsiders have never really committed up the short side. It's good for 2 reasons. One, when T's molly it, it will immediately put it out. He's done that already preemptively, but also you see the nice gap he has to fight in the short side, and they have no idea. They cannot see him back. A couple of rounds where Kicker presumed he had a lot more room than he did, taking Banana with knife out and getting caught by Nico or Alexi, but it's not the end of the world. It's still a very good T side on Inferno for Outsiders. But G2, that pause was worth its weight in gold. The triple B that they pull back into an A stack later on. And it's their round to take. We had an apps pop for Outsiders in their T-pistol. G2 have a little more util available though. No kits. Kinder has a nade to lob down Banana. He is solo B right now. This is a pretty common start of a round for Outsiders going 4A, and James tries to get that info to piece together what G2 want to do. Outsiders, look at this setup. It is pit and site-centric, but they can't stay here forever. The quieter, or the longer it's quiet, the more you're getting scared of the possibility of a B execute, and G2 look to set that up now.
Trading util at Banana. I don't know if this does want to be the commit, right? When they kind of throw that decoy in, it's like to give the illusion that, you know, they were setting up with that flash early, trying to get someone out towards top Banana. But Outsiders have never fallen for this, and that util was enough to spook G2 away from the B play. There was a nade, there was a flash, they didn't like what they see. So now they try to recommit back into A, but 4 strong here for the Outsiders, all in the right place, right time. Monacy opens up. Jax is going to remove another flip in the graveyard, had to hold it down all alone. His teammates turned to dust around him. And so it's only Yakindar left up through Arch. Nico's already on the angle, and he doesn't miss those. G2 with a 9th. Wow. It's this pistol to open up the second half, and that was in spite of walking in to the trap that Outsiders laid over towards A.
Yeah, they bully Outsiders in that pistol, right? The point of going for a stack like that is you just have to commit with it. If you're Outsiders, you can't doubt yourself. You have to stay on the stack. But what works is Hunter comes in apps early, gets all that info, peeks into A site, sees nothing, and that's part of the reason G2 go back. He's seen no one on the bomb site. He's seen no one in graveyard, but Outsiders were there. They were just crouched in. They were hidden. They were giving away nothing. And even the misinfo does G2 justice. Very clean pistol. And Outsiders with a bit of a classic in the second. They've set Yakinder up with a FAMAS. James got a scout. Forced in. Trying to flip the script. Trying to convert. Or stop G2 from converting. But it's a default round from the T side. With this top B control, they can go back late into a B execute, but not too late, as we saw many a time for Outsiders. And They're going to roam maps, looking for picks early, where pistols often sit, but not this time. Triple B setup. Very common second round for outsiders here. Not just having the FAMAS, but having a B stack. G2 trying to force their hand, force a fight, force util, anything that can give them a way into this round, but James on the angle. And on his contact, Yikinda can swing.
Yeah, bombs moving up here as well for G2. Looks like they want to try their hand at this B exec. Outsiders once again have got the stack here. Tag from James Scout, and even though it's a traded damage, right, James will take that all day long. Bombs going back down, Banana. Is it going to be a regroup into the A hit? Nico committing alone, trying to sell this B play, and he has sold it. Kicker dead over at A, and even though Nico dies, right, they've got this site, they've got full control. G2 very, very measured with how they approach this one, and they managed to best the stack.
Yeah, right now the calls are coming together for Alexei. G2 are doing a very good job of avoiding or even just tearing apart these good setups for outsiders, these well-drilled setups. There's definitely a level of familiarity here. It's kind of why you called it a chess game in that first half between these two teams. That double smoke fake into B kept outsiders there the entire round. They never wanted to pull that apart, and that just falls into G2's favor. You see one smoke on its own, you don't panic. You see a second, right after that's faded, you start to think that the hit is in. G2 are hoping to pull a third player to B, but that guy was already there and he never left. It's 10 rounds now. Yeah, we haven't seen a full buy for outsiders. We've still got to wait one more as they get away with some stolen guns, but this is going to be G2 with quite the lead before we hit rifle rounds. Presuming nothing goes wrong here.
Yeah, but you're never ready to say it will, right? Or will or won't. I don't know, dude. I've got some memories of outsiders winning rounds that they certainly shouldn't have.
Yeah, are they gonna push mid?
Oh, they try to have Yikinda fighting it early. At a bare minimum, that FAMAS is retrievable, but James doesn't want to commit to that fight.
He had lots of trade options there. Nico hung around after that first fight, and then another player even re-swung into the angle. In a round like this, outsiders, they've got to take as many shots as they can get before G2 execute, because not only do you not have the weaponry to multi-kill on your bomb sites, but you don't have the util to kill G2 in this round either. So right now it's a gamble. It's all you can really do in a round like this. It's very outsiders, 4 players on B. James does hang around for a moment, but G2 have again made the right call, and they've already won the round as long as they just commit on this info Hunter's gotten. And if James tries to rotate in and beat this long smoke, Hunter's going to see him from this gap in apps. Smoked off in library, long info lost, and G2 ready to close.
Now, I don't really love the save here if outsiders did want to go for it. You know, really the only things of value is this util you're going to take with you and the armor on guys like James and Flit. You'd love to do a bit of damage and force some reinvestment out of the G2 squad so they don't get to run a full bonus, and so outsiders will go looking for that damage now. They've dished some out, but no kills yet. G2 looking to keep this one flawless, even though they're still fighting these players for outsiders that are trying to save. Their goal in this round is very much changed over time. G2 up to 11, bonus round coming through the pipeline. Outsiders at a bare minimum going to have everything they need.
Yeah, it's looking a little flat on this CT side. Outsiders are just playing gambles. You know, they're just hoping G2 make mistakes, and a lot of teams would, but G2 just haven't made any errors yet in the second half. This is where I want to see people get involved. I want to see James taking his mid fights, maybe popping apps, you know, going across the stairs if G2 don't spot him. I want to see Yikinda and Banana as well, a position that G2 were really putting a lot of onus on in the first half, that won them a lot of rounds, forced a lot of late executes for outsiders that they lost to time, or Nico at the back of the site. Yikinda hasn't really done anything towards B yet with that FAMAS. He's been very safe. Last round he played A, so this is the perfect round for outsiders to maybe throw themselves into some fights and do what they do best on this CT side. They've called out their third pause. They know just how important this opening gun round is to their CT side. Without it, likely 13-7 and almost no more opportunity. As good as they are at longing out games, and as much as G2 struggle to close, this gun round matters so much for outsiders.
It really does. It really, really does. And at least you've got all the pieces. Right, you've got James Orp, you've got Util, you've got everything to make this one work. Now they've just got to stick the landing. It's up against the bonus round as well. G2 are going to play into this fast. It's a real change of pace. Out into top mid. Kicker will hold on, dealing with Hunter. That is a big opening kill. It's kind of removed all the paciness of this round out of G2.
Yeah, that's a round where if you get that opening kill off of the rush, you just speed, man. You just commit, but you can, Kicker rather, the quietest player in the server, puts up a massive defensive kill to slow this one down. G2 still want to commit with the position they've been given. They don't want to let outsiders re-aggress and get that info back. Yakindar has rotated alongside with James, who's firing off shots through the smoke. Someone's got to go through and help Moto, because this bulk of the hit is coming through on the short side. James going to make that move. Oh, he's been mollied though. He has to dive through. A minute on the clock. G2 are committing.
Yeah, they're moving in up the short side, right? Oh, the reload is so unfortunate, but Alexi somehow wins that. Meanwhile, m0NESY double opener into the site. It's a 2v2 G2. This was a bonus round, and they're now poised to run away with it. m0NESY dead. Alexi with this AWP. The rotate from Buster is very, very late up through middle, but if anything, that could work in his favor. Maybe Alexi discounts this. Right now, he's so fixated on flushing out Yakindar. Buster was never even considered, arriving super late to the party, but still making one hell of an entrance.
What was that from James? What was he trying to do? Did he think he'd beat the timing for Alexi and they'd swap places in the smoke? That's the only only example or answer I can give you. Like, he's hoping Alexi's running at him, and so he can trade places and group up with Yakindar. I really don't know. Either way, the move, the early rotate for Yakindar and the move through Moto is really, really nice, because G2 got 3 entry kills in about 5 seconds so quickly that Yakindar knew he was not going to be expected on that re-aggression. He's able to stop the planter off the bomb and stall just long enough for Buster up on the short side. Still a very sweaty round, one where m0NESY goes ham with the rifle entries, and G2, a close try, but they forced the final pause out of outsiders. It may not feel like a lot in the moment, but those are the rounds that outsiders use to pump them back up and get back in a game like this. G2 are going to be more than aware of that fact. James got his mid-spawn with the AWP. 5 and 10. Very quiet, though. He had, that one massive kill to open up onto m0NESY and Banana in the first half. Not really seen too much of note from him this game. Gotta see that return to glory.
Wants to give it a go now. Was waiting for like a flash peek into middle, and with that Util not coming over, he just decides against taking the fight. Never offers that one up.
Nice nade. 3 players hit by that. 60 damage. G2, they want to commit early, it looks like. They're just running up. They maybe think the outside is a heavy B from the get-go, and they were right. But it wasn't the commit.
It's nice, though. It's kind of let them gauge the response, right? Because they lobbed in some Util from top middle. They see what outsiders' response is with Util of their own.
Oh, wow.
It's even pulled a player away from this B bomb site. So all this Util getting traded, it's worked to reinforce the A stack. G2, now if they follow through with the B play, things would be looking lovely.
Yeah.
Only Buster here. He does have a smoke, right? He can lob that in if he hears them start to take car. He's even got Yakindar moving back around with Util of his own. It's nice that Yakindar's the guy to lob that smoke in, right? That's going to help Buster out. Means he can just sit pretty back at the bomb site, hold on to that smoke till later on in this round. Exec gets lobbed into B, but it's not the commitment for G2. They're going back into an A play. Outsiders never fell for this, right? Sure, they bought Yakindar back, but they're still 3 strong over on A.
Nice shot from James. That's the opener. 15 seconds, you've got to get a trade kill. Hunter will find it, flit off the box, and they know James in the site. He's trying to hide it, duck down, kick it in the pit with a double, and James drops a bomb with seconds to spare. It's done. Nico has to dive away, too late to the party, as Outsiders put on 9. All off the back of that A-hole. G2 couldn't seem to make up their mind where they wanted to end. Just going back and forth between bomb sites, they managed to force a 4-man A-stack. They made that round look like the previous, with all of that long utility, completely losing info on that long side for Outsiders. But yeah, even with only 3 on the site, they're able to hold it really, really easily. Jax is also very quiet, I noticed. 3 and 8. Not really had to say his name too much. The closer this game gets, the more worrying that score is.
Oh, the attempt at this little boost up over at Logs is immediately shut down. And dude, this squad get even more annoying once they've got these early man advantages. They don't often overstep for you to ever reclaim that.
Classic Yakinda move right here. I think Nico smoke pushes. Well, Yakinda's just as confident it seems, although gap in the smoke. Nico going for one taps, James the same, the missed shot, and Jax does come back in with a kill. That is high impact. They can explode right now. The bomb's late, but they're 4 here, and Hunter's got another. Gone for the pit, leaves Flit alone in holding this A site. They can save, they can retake, but what they can't do is stop A from being taken.
Dude, I think they're kind of fortunate that Yakinda tapered off with the banana aggression, because Nico's still here with the bomb.
They're trying to get him across.
Yeah, they're trying to get him out of there. He will manage to cross on back. Outsiders are saving, and thankfully there was no point where they rotated down banana there, or else that could have got super weird. G2, they are going to get this one over the line. And, you know, I hope we kind of I hope we see a return to some of these pacier rounds, right? Like, it's always rough. There's a reason why Outsiders games, no matter who they're up against, it feels like they always play out the same. They are a team that is so good at getting their opponent to subscribe to, like, their style of gameplay. Yeah. You'll kind of note that whenever teams play this team, they almost end up mirroring them on like, T-sides with how slow a lot of the rounds are, with how it does become, like, a game of trading util, info plays, grandiose fakes. And a lot of the time, I think one of the reasons why Outsiders frequently like win matchups where that happens is you're kind of going for like an imitation of a playstyle that isn't entirely your own. Like when I look at Alexi, my brain doesn't, especially on Inferno, it doesn't go to like some of these like really drawn out rounds. I'm used to things like apps pops, him pushing top mid smokes, getting stuck in early.
Just training players, you know, and trading their way through bomb sites really, really quick. But no, I agree. And that's why it made the first few rounds of this half really exciting for G2, because despite a lot of stacks for Outsiders, G2 would often avoid them or go into them and just remove them in seconds. So it was looking really, really good. But now that we've got nades, now that we've got James finding a couple of picks here and there, Yakinda taking banana back, we're getting more Outsiders rounds build in. G2 do break through though, 12-9. Again, a fight back at B. Nico eating nades and mollies. He's got smoke ready for it, though. And try and fight back with a flash. As that top smoke, molly fades, he takes down Yakinda, completely caught off guard by that pacey pop off the back of his own smoke.
I feel like that last round is just kind of imbued G2 with that energy again to realize that, okay, we got 1 kill that round and then just accelerated on the back of it. Let's try to create more opportunities for ourselves like that. You know, Yakinda just flat out wasn't ready for the pace change in that round of a smoke on the molly and a wide swing from Nico. Those are not the kind of fights you've been dealt earlier on in this half.
Well, there were 2 mollies as well, right? Like, that's the best part. He waits till the top 1 phase before he goes. Buster drops his cross smoke to get back to the pillar, but there's a lot of fire in the middle of this site. The spam from Alexi puts Flit on his last legs, but they can't find Buster. Smoke spam only goes so far. They've got to clear him out at the back of the bomb site.
Oh, they go back. They clear Nico out. That's huge. Buster's still alive here. And now the smoke starts to fade. Flit's able to help. At least draws the attention away for Buster to claim another life. He's just playing a timing game right now. Trying to waste as much time off the clock as he can by never giving them this fight. Starting to whittle away back in. Buster, last man standing, and they eventually flush him out.
Oh.
It's kind of mental that the guy playing B anchor around that, like, you know, like smoke for the pillar cross is the last guy left standing in the exec, right? Credit to him for staying alive so long, but as everyone else was stripped out of the round, started to feel a little bit inevitable there that one was going to tip back the way of G2.
It wasn't just the whiff from Flit on the Coffins play. Sure, it set Buster up, but it could have been 2 kills for Flit if he went a bit wider. But it's also the fact that G2 not only send Nico through tree smoke, but then also Hunter runs through after Nico dies. You may have read it once, Outsiders. You won't read it again. All those rotates get cut out, and then Buster can play off of no one. He just has to just take a peek and hope that he hits the head. He won't. Monacy very patient, and that can be really impressive for a guy, you know, still relatively inexperienced in comparison to a lot of the players we have in the server. In fact, everyone, and you know, he doesn't freak out a lot. You don't see Monacy panic in these hits right now on the T side. So 13-9, willing to play that clock right down to the bitter end, and this is G2 looking to steal a map right out of the series. Outsiders, a mishmash by Orc and P250.
Dude, yeah, this is scary. With them all inning this, right? Like, they're hoping they turn it around now, or else they might never get rolling at all. If G2 win this, they go up to 14. The money for Outsiders is broken, and suddenly they're on for a bit of an upset in this first map, in the Outsiders map pick, to open up this Elim series.
What a call.
They go into B, they get it for free. And honestly, for Outsiders, there's worse things that could have happened here, right? You're going to get out with everything you bought into this round. And so that idea that, you know, their money was going to be broken up against 14 is now a non-factor with everyone staying alive. Is it going to be a unicorn round to find G2 their 14th?
They'll take it, man. Pacifist, G2, they're all for it. Not rushing the fights, and Outsiders get to give this one another go, but up against an even more dire scoreline. This is super impressive that G2 seem, you know, I don't want to jinx it, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but seem to be, you know, taking this one clean right now. This half has not really been a contest. We've had a couple of rounds in the mix for Outsiders, but this is their map pick. This is where they do some of their best work on CT sides, some of their gamble stacks. James been still quiet with Yorp despite a couple of kills. And G2 have risen above it all. 14-9, 2 to go. You know, it's kind of what we wanted out of G2. As much as I'm always believing in Outsiders, G2 coming in championship form to this tournament. 2 very close losses in games that they should have fielded W's in. It was time for a decisive victory. I just didn't think it was the place.
Oh, we're not out of the woods yet, right? There's one thing to be said. It's never over till it's over versus this Outsiders team. But I am inclined to agree with you. I think the fashion in which G2 have put these rounds up on the board, especially in this second half, have inspired a lot of confidence.
James back on his short angle with the York. Kicker app side and Flit on long. G2 putting that pressure back on middle. James waiting for a wide swing or a flash to come through. We saw Hampus with a spam to remove Simple from this position yesterday. Do G2 have any tricks up their sleeve? That's a re-smoke in middle. G2 are way up and past it. 50 seconds. Monacy doesn't need to respect that smoke. They're coming in on our side. They're wrapping this A site. It's a full commit again.
Yeah, Flit's trying to set them up with flashes. James also lobbing them over long, hoping to slow this down. Kicker from within the pit opens up with this first kill. Oh, another one for Kicker, putting on a bit of a show for us now. And this crossfire inside of the site, it's going to be so hard to get past. And that's if you even get to it. Monacy up and over, but now brought to his knees. Nico, last guy left standing. 20 seconds, bomb cut loose over on the short side. He's running out of this round. He's done with it, wants no more part in it. Outsiders onto double digits. They repel that A play. And so the going is still good as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, sick round out of Kicker, right? Even when he's having a bad game, he is a super solid pit and apps anchor. Not really seen much apps control on the CT side. Outsiders haven't been keen for the info on the A site. They keep getting surprised by these A attacks, but they do manage to put up a stellar defense. James is just looking a little bit out of it there, just running out through the middle of the site in the open when G2 already have all the way up to Moto. It's Kicker who just bails them out with 3 kills. Both long players gone, and then the first guy on short side. 10 rounds for Outsiders, slow and steady, trying to bite back. Jame again waiting for that mid flash so he can take a peek, but G2 are not throwing one. They have no AWP themselves. It would be a free fight for Jame, but G2 try to avoid that engagement. And maybe that could be the difference maker, right? Give Jame a pick, give Jame a fight early. Because he has been, despite very quiet, also very passive. Not trying to get back in. This is going to be just Buster on the B site right now. G2 through and execute, which they have been doing in these early 30-40 seconds of rounds. Completely cancel him out. Alexi, oh my god, he's got to go. He's forced to play. The flash coming in. Buster's not there to swing though. Alexi fires a shot. They know he's still at top card. They know that util on the retake didn't work, and now it's G2 to commit.
Yeah, they're moving in, right? 3 strong here for the Outsiders. Alexi goes up and over. Bomb's now looking to join him on the back of Monacy. They need these openers. They need to flush out Buster once again, right? Still alive back at the site, but this time Alexi finds him. Hunter's waiting to deny the rotations, but shot in the back. They do deal with him. 3 versus 4, and with these A players still so far away, you would have needed that kill to come in to even make you consider attempting this round. Jame and Kicker are saving. G2 managed to break apart that B site, and are now up onto 15 on Outsiders map pick.
Yeah, if there's one thing James is proficient at, it's saving, right? Doesn't let the hunts come through, but G2 are still chasing, still searching for kills at the end of the round. Regardless of not whether they get them, G2 are sitting on the precipice of a map up in the series. Their opponent's pick removed from play, and Vertigo up next, which they've picked into this series, screams some level of preparation. Timeout coming through for Xtaz, trying to make sure that they don't get ahead of themselves. It's some team's biggest mistake up against Outsiders. And yeah, we've not actually seen really any banana control on the CT side either. It's something that G2 were all over with triple Bs early, with some great util. It was never really Monacy taking those fights. We haven't seen AWPs in the B side of the map this entire game for either team, but G2, even with free banana control, they are just running wild on these A executes.
Man, Jay might have saved the AWP, might be his whole shtick, right? But now he needs to save Outsiders. I really hope, you were kind of calling for it earlier on. I wasn't even too fussed that he wasn't getting super involved. It doesn't really feel like he needed to, and Outsiders were still able to find a lot of success just on playing their usual, gamble-heavy, kind of lean style on this CT side. But now, if there ever was a time for him to hit this one early, it's here. It's up against 15. G2 have not really had to contend with an AWP fighting them in the opening of these rounds. So I'd love for that to finally come through for the Outsiders, or else G2 are going to run away with this one. Once again, very measured out of the gate. Trading util up the banana side, slowly but surely working the apartment's control. Nico trying to go and seize this kill. No. Yakindar spammed out. Oh. That is brutal. Nico throws himself in. He relishes in the opportunity to fight the man that everyone's talking about. Yakindar now out of the round, up against 15. And G2 are trying to give Outsiders a taste of their own medicine. Oh, we've got the man advantage. We're going to pump the brakes. We're going to make them sweat, make them feel that pressure. And only then will we hit the go button.
Outsiders don't even know where it is, although I say that rotate's coming in for Kicker right now. He's made the call. Resmoke at 35 seconds here. G2 cut off, but they're going to let Hunter roam and look for this pick, and he certainly might find it.
Dude, he's calling
a bit
right now.
further
It's clear.
forward. Yeah, but James still here. James still on the angle. Hunter's got to find him. He's taking the kill. 20 seconds. The red carpet rolled out on the A site, and G2 just need to get the bomb in tow. Nico's here to hear rotations, and even though he gets no kills, he hears every single step. He knows there's no one left on this A bomb site. Closest player is that smoke spammer. Nade's not going to stop a plant. Monacy here to cut them down. It's Jax through the smoke instead. And G2, this is their map.
Yeah, not much that Buster and Flick can do here, right? They're trapped over at the long side. There's even Nico coming in late, a chance to play the backstab. They will get kills to propel themselves in for this. Oh my goodness, it's down to a 1v2, but Nico's now arrived on the scene. Only Flit left standing, and G2 are looking to run away with this one. He's running out of time. It's planted for the apartments. Flit, will he have the read? Nico with a jiggle, and that's it, lost to time. Outsiders cannot recover. It is a damn good try in the 2v5, but G2 steal Inferno away and now go and map up in this elimination series.
That has to feel excellent for G2. There's not many rosters who can knock down Outsiders and make it look pretty clean while they do so, especially on a map like Inferno. Outsiders pick. Very well called T-side for Alexi B as well. Really just avoided those stacks every single time. Forced a lot of saves out of Outsiders. Completely shut down Jame in that second half as well. And yeah, Nico just fragging out a B every single time. Compare him to Kicker, who almost got nothing